We now go to an exclusive feature with the CEO and the team at Digimax, taking a look at their ventures in the blockchain space.
I'm standing here with Chris Carl from Digimax, who you have traveled a long way to get here. Where have you come from?
Well, the company is based in Toronto, and in fact, we're about to become a publicly listed company in Toronto on the Canadian Securities Exchange. But in fact, we have partners all over the world, in all of the major centers that have been involved in blockchain for the last 5 years.
And you have the idea of helping businesses raising funds through STOs?
Exactly. So what we're doing is we're setting up relationships, again, globally. That would include Korea, it includes Singapore, Hong Kong, Canada and the US, London, England, Switzerland, and right here in Malta especially. And what we have is we've built up a conglomerate of joint venture relationships of people who are registered broker-dealers. Because the whole idea about the token world now is you must be regulatory compliant. Malta is leading the way in setting up new rules to be regulatory compliant, and we're all about helping companies make sure, on the one hand, they're regulatory compliant, and if they are, to raise the money that they need to raise. And we put all the different groups together to make sure that money gets raised and that the investors are properly protected and treated.
And what is it that make you want to do this type of venture? Why not just going traditional route?
Yeah. So we believe that STOs, securitized token offerings, are a great way of the future, and that of all the capital raised around the world, which is about $1.5 trillion per year, 20 or 30% of that could be done through tokens, as long as they're regulatory compliant. The old ICO, which was mostly utility tokens, unfortunately most of them were not regulatory compliant, and that's why the industry got a bit of a bad name. But it's recovering, the industry is recovering from that now, and it's growing up, and now that it wants to be regulatory compliant, there's a great opportunity there, and we see ourselves leading the global effort to make that a reality.
And just in terms of STOs themselves, I mean, we have heard a lot of ICOs, but what is the exact difference? We know that STOs now seem to be leading the way.
So an STO is a securitized token, and what that means, what the word security means, is that the company issuing the token is making some promise to either share an asset or share some sort of future revenue stream. One of our clients, called Twism, what they're doing is they're both sharing 3% of sales to the purchasers of $25 million of tokens, but they're also giving away 10% of the equity of the company should the company have a change of control. In other words, somebody comes and buy it, or if they want to go out and do an IPO as a company, the buyers of the tokens actually get equity in the company. So there's two forms of security there. One is the promise to pay a share of sales, and two, it's to get equity when the company gets sold. And as opposed to a utility token done under the ICOs, there was no obligation for the company to do anything. They raised the money, they walked away, and if the company did well, maybe the value went up, but most of them unfortunately went down because there was no security.
Sure, and just in terms of moving forward from here, for a regular person who's trying to build or maybe get a portfolio, what are the direct benefits on getting into the whole blockchain boat right now?
I think, it's early stages, so whenever you get in early, you usually get better prices, better values. The second one is that you're buying something for the first time that does have future security. So you're buying a much safer investment than if you were buying the old utility tokens under an ICO. And so what you're getting is something that has the benefits of a common share, but more security than a common share even has. And you'll have something that's being done 100% regulatory compliant, which is the first time in this entire coin industry that that's happening.
Sure, and getting on board early, as you say, is always beneficial. That's why we're here at Bloxlive covering some of these major innovations and events. Thank you so much for taking your time and joining us here. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you very much, Jelena.
Yes, and as you say, getting on the boat early is one of the major things to do, and that's why we're here reporting on it all at Bloxlive. Thank you for watching.